and 04958? That's not the answer. Huh. Request for investigation to Social Security Administration, Montpelier, Rutland, and Waterville, Maine. So it's fair to say, people, that the filings that I have are for good reason. And I want you all to ask Larry Dunphy, who's running for state rep. He told me last year, 2021, Kim, why don't you run? I said, why don't you run with me? He said, because I gave politics up a long time ago. Well, throughout the conversation, I had asked him what happened to me going to Washington, D.C. when I was a little girl, because I won a contest in a DAR, but I got ousted. And Larry Dunphy's queer son, I call him queer because he certainly looks queer to me. Doesn't mean that he's guy queer, but he's queer in many ways. Tyler Dunphy went instead of me. Why? Because the Dunphys bought his way, right? Well, that's okay, because I still have the Facebook message from Larry Dunphy, who's running for state rep in Maine. He told me in a message, threatening words, and it wasn't long after that, isn't it, Larry Dunphy, that my house got burned down? So you should probably explain that down here at the White House today in Washington, D.C. Call them and tell them on voicemail, being Sunday, so they'll get it first thing Monday when I call them, and when I stand in front of the State House Monday morning in Maine, and I show everybody the Facebook message from Larry Dunphy, running for state rep in Maine, and I'm also going to go see somebody else, which is another person running, which would be your opponent, and I'm going to give him the hard copy. So everybody exploit Larry Dunphy, his frivolous ways, and just make it known that we're going from state to state throughout this country, and anybody that's done me wrong, police, politicians, or people, you're all being brought out. It's called the PPP. You're on podcast.